Welcome to this week's edition of Fortuna News. Well, we have some interesting racing in front of us this weekend with at least 4 runners, possibly 5. First away is Singapore on Friday evening. We have Ready Fortune in race 3, a class 5 event over 1700 metres on the poly track. A 4-time winner in Singapore, Ready Fortune has got down to a dangerous place in the weights and does look well placed in this event, although he does have barrier 10 to contend with. Manuel Nunes is to ride. Later in the evening, race 8, Double Jeopardy, who's had a freshen up, makes a resuming run over a distance probably too short for him at 1200 metres, class 5 event. However, it is interesting to note that on previous occasions when he's come back fresh over shorter distances, he's put in a slashing race. In November last year, over 1100 metres when fresh, he went down by half a head into second place. So an interesting contender. The big news from Singapore on Friday night is that it's the running of the Oz Golden Horseshoe event, a $325,000 race for 2-year-olds. And Mark Walker, our Singapore trainer, has 2 very interesting runners in this race. The first one is a gelding by Darcy Brahma called Distinctive Darcy, who ran a slashing second from a wide barrier draw in a 2-year-old event there a couple of weeks ago, and he's drawn 2 at the barrier and is a dangerous contender. His other runner, Hello Michelle, who's by Minstrel Court, a filly by Minstrel Court, has drawn a bit wider at 10, but she has won a 2-year-old race in Singapore before. So good luck, Mark, and we wish you all the very best for that big event on Friday evening. Turning to Saturday, here in New Zealand at Akaka, the 3-year-old filly It's Our Showtime is having another crack up at Ruakaka. Last time she went down by a nose in a rating 65 event over 1200 metres from a wide barrier draw. This time she's going to contest a rating 75 event, again over 1200 metres. She's drawn 7 in a field of 12. She gets track conditions to suit, Matt Cameron to ride. And while it is very difficult for a 3-year-old filly to win a rating 75 event, it's a pretty good field. She is a talent, and we think she's a pretty good each-way chance. Also on Saturday in Malaysia, our River Dancer contests a race at the Perak Racing Club over 1,000 metres. This is very much a lead-up race for him for a 1400 metre race the following week, but he is a bold front-running type and we're expecting a good showing. Butch Cassidy, our 3-year-old son of Darcy Brahma, is also set to race that day, although a final decision will be made later in the week as to whether he will take his place or be reserved for the following week. So good luck to all of the connections, and hopefully we can get some runners home for you this weekend. In other Fortuna news, recently we said goodbye to our 4-year-old mare, our Drama Queen, a filly by Darcy Brahma out of a High Chaparral mare. This filly, who missed her 3-year-old season due to injury, did win a race, a maiden race in the spring as a 4-year-old, but while she tried hard, she simply wasn't able to win at the next level up. So she has been sold as a broodmare prospect, and by being a half-sister to a very good Group 1 winning horse in Australia, Suavito, we managed to get a very nice 5-figure sum for her as a broodmare prospect. And that underlines one of the strategies that we use at Fortuna, which is to buy nicely bred fillies and look to add value to them as broodmare prospects, so that at the end of their racing careers they do have residual value. In closing, we're getting near the end of the racing season here in New Zealand, just 3 weeks to go, and our training team here in New Zealand of Stephen Ortridge and Jamie Richards have got an 8-win lead over their nearest rivals, and while we should never say never, it's looking like they will be the premiers in the training championship here in New Zealand this year. A wonderful effort, because it is two things to note. First of all, it is Jamie and Stephen's first full year as a training partnership, and of course Jamie Richards himself, it is his first stint as a trainer. Stephen Ortridge has been there and done it before, but for Jamie in particular, it's a great achievement, and as I say, fingers crossed that the boys can get over the line. I'll be back next week.